Welcome. Welcome back. Welcome back to my podcast. I am just. I don't feel human anymore. I don't feel like I'm on the earth. There's so much going on. I'm so busy. But I am slaying, which is probably not the type of thing I should say at the start of an episode that talks about a lack of motivation. Like, do I have motivation? No. But the simple drive of stress and adrenaline is literally the only thing that's getting me through this. Like, I woke up today and I chose happiness, and life didn't choose happiness for me. I slept 12 hours though. Oh my god. I went to sleep at 10:30 last night and I woke up at 10:30 this morning. I was out. I was not on planet Earth for a good while. And I'm going to explain because we always love to start our little episodes. Look at this candle. Look how cute this candle is. Me and my candle against the world. I could be going through a serious just emotional turmoil, roller coaster. But me and my candle, we're like this. She smells like apple pie. Like, this candle is supposed to smell like apple honey butter, probably, but apple pie is closer in my nose buds. We will start with me talking about my life because I need somebody to listen to me. I don't have a therapist yet, so I need this. You and me, you're all I have. You're genuinely all I have. You and my friends that don't have a choice but to listen. I was working the entire weekend. In hindsight, I realized that this killed me from the inside out, but it was a fun job. Like, I couldn't say no. The problem was that this job is 3 hours away. So that means a 6-hour travel time there and back for one day. And I did that on Saturday and Sunday. And it's Monday right now. The job, I also worked on Friday, but like, it was a good shift. I'm not gonna lie. The food at that shift, Miss Girl, the food at that shift was just, it hit the spot because I was like, go the entire time. I love catering. I will do anything for catering. I'll be go. I'll do all of it and it'll go by like this. But the food, I was so tired at one point. And when the guy came up to me and he was like, you can have a 20-minute break. Go eat. I was like, and I went to the stall where all the guests were eating, and I was just like, it's my time. None of them were eating at that point. It was literally empty. But I still had a lot of fun, and I went, and I didn't even have to wait in line because everybody was done eating. And I got a hot dog. I didn't order it because it was free. I got a hot dog, and there's it was like a station with different toppings, so you could like put little pickles on it. You could put pickled onions, mayonnaise, all the toppings that you want, and I was going crazy. And then I had some soup with like sausage. There's this typical Dutch soup called erwtensoep, and it's a delicacy. And so I had that and that hot dog, and I was on a different planet. For those 20 minutes of my life, I was feeling like a queen. Even though I had to eat in the basement and not in front of the guests, which to me, I don't care because I like the privacy. I love the privacy. I got to look at my phone and chill and in the warmth of the basement because it's incredibly cold. And for some reason, the food was stationed outside. And I was like, you're expecting 180 people, because there were 180 people, and they were expecting them to like be outside and inside, and I was like, they're gonna be inside. It's gonna be like this, and it was. But thankfully they had like a karaoke bar, so the people that like to turn up went to the karaoke, and the people that enjoyed the World Cup sat in the main area picking up the cups at the karaoke. We're literally not gonna talk about it. Saturday and Sunday, the whole point, I did this job before, so I knew what it entailed. So it's not like I'm like, oh my god, 6 hours of traveling. I knew that because I've done it before. It's basically work with kids and you make cute little decorations, and like it's like a little activity with the kids where you make something depending on the theme. So last time I worked with them, it was Halloween. This time it was Christmas, so we made Christmas trees out of wood and then we decorated them. Gorgeous, cute, awesome. It requires very, like, if you compare it to catering, it requires little effort. You work with kids. Kids, it's a lot of energy because kids tend to love sucking your energy. It's not their fault. They're just kids. And that's just, it comes with the territory of kids. You need a lot of energy because you constantly have to look out for them, because there were like, you had to cut the wood with a saw, and there was that aspect, and then there was also hammers and needles, and you were like and then you also had to like make sure that they weren't literally being covered in paint when they were painting. There was a lot of things you have to look out for. It takes energy, plus the conversations. You have to try your best to understand what they're saying because they jump from topic to topic, and you're like, ha, that's so fun, that's so cool, and you're trying to entertain them. And after 4 to 6 hours, you are pretty much good for life. And I think yesterday I felt the genuine just exhaustion. It's worth it for me. I can understand somebody being like, what the fuck? It's worth it for me. But will I ever do that again? No. I'll do one day, but not 2 consecutive days. That was just a different type of pain. And then this whole situation happened. There was a local Santa at this place where I was working with the kids, and he was coming by a couple times, and then I went to go to my break, and I was like, eating an apple and shit and looking at my phone. And the Santa came in, and he was getting a cola from this vending machine. I never saw this vending machine before. I've worked here 3 times. Like, how did I miss the vending machine? I don't know. He got a cola, and I was like, cola. I don't know what was, my brain was not okay. But suddenly I started craving cola. So I went towards this vending machine, and like, right now I'm used to vending machines that accept mobile credit cards, because that's what I have at school, and that's what I've been having for a very long time. All of them that I know of have been replaced with the digital credit cards. #media studies student. And this one was coins, and I was like, what is this? For a moment, I forgot how coins worked, and I was like, I haven't owned a coin in years. I'm sorry if the camera's like, I'm a little bit excited about this today. I don't have coins. I don't carry coins. I don't carry cash. I have my card and my phone, and that is the only money, and everything else is in the bank. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just me, my phone, and my card. I don't even use my credit card. It's just me and Apple Pay. Apple Pay has done more for me than, like, I don't, like, anything. Like, me and Apple Pay are besties. Apple Pay has done more for me than this candle, and that means a lot. And so I was like, oh no, I don't have coins. And the guy was like, I have a coin, and he gave me €1. And I was like, thanks so much, because the cola was 90 cents. And I put the euro in, and I clicked the button for Coca-Cola Zero, and they were out of Coca-Cola Zero. And I was stressing because I was like, well, I don't want anything else than Cola Zero, because I like Cola Zero. I always drink Cola Zero. And I was like, what am I supposed to do? And then there was this fused tea, and I was like, I had to press something, So I pressed the fused tea, and I got a fused tea, and I was like, well, what do I do now? Because I didn't want to be rude in a way that, like, I don't use the money he gave me, but I also didn't want to be rude in the way that, like, I waste the money, and he does, like, so I was just like, okay, I would just get this and drink it in front of him if he's still here. He left, thankfully, so I got to give it to somebody else, but that was a moment. But anyways, the only thing I'm looking forward to is my weekend if it's Monday, it's next week. This weekend, Can you tell I'm slowly losing my mind? This weekend, the upcoming weekend, my boyfriend's coming over, and it's a travel. It's a good 3-hour trip with the train. and he's coming to visit me. And I meticulously planned this weekend. I know hour to hour what I'm going to do with this man because I see it as such an important, like, I need this. I need this weekend. I need this weekend to be good because I have not been having the most amazing time lately. And this week is going to literally kill me. I can feel it in my bones. It's a Monday and I feel like I'm dying. I need this weekend. So I've planned it top to bottom. He's going to have the most amazing time of his life. And if he doesn't, I will have the most amazing time of my life. I need this. And he would just come along for the ride. He's a guest, you know? He would just suck it up. We have Christmas together. Shut up. We'll have a good time. But we're actually going to have a good time. We're going to watch Avatar and we're going to go to the Christmas market. There's going to be a Christmas market here. We're going to go to a museum. There's a Versace exhibition at the museum, my local museum. And I'm like, sign me the fuck up. Like, what the fuck? Other than that, I went to this bachelor honors program information meeting where they were like introducing the bachelor's honor program. And I was intrigued. This is a very interesting program. I'm really excited, but I'm also kind of scared because, like, if this is the workload that I feel like I'm dying at, what am I gonna do in honors? I want to try, but, like, my eyes are red. My eyes today, I was like, oh, my eyes hurt. And then I went to look at the mirror and I was like, oh, they're red. Like, they're like blood. So we shall see. You know what? We're just gonna get into this because I just cannot talk about my week anymore. I don't want to think about it. I really don't want to think about my life. I want to think about a specific topic. Losing motivation. This is the thing. Procrastination is something we all struggle with, I'm sure. And I've been trying to find a balance between school and work because I love working. I actually do like my job. Duh. I mean, if I travel 6 hours to do a job, then I enjoy it. But it's difficult because, like, I want to make my own money. But for example, if I do honors, I won't be working that much at all. Like, compared to how much I've been working these past few months, having a job is just going to put that straight down the drain. And I kind of feel anxious about it. But I'm trying to balance it in a way that's like, I'm working and I'm making my own money, but I'm also thinking about my education and focusing and prioritizing the main reason I got here. It wasn't my job. I got the job because I could. You know, I got the job because I wanted to have a job. But the education is the most important part and the part that I should be prioritizing. I feel like I've been losing motivation at an incredible pace because it's almost Christmas and you just when you look forward to something, it feels like time is going so slow and you just don't have you're just thinking about it over and over and over again and you just cannot think about anything else and your motivation drops and you're like, I just want it to be the holidays. And when they're so close, they feel so far away. And I think definitely the closer Christmas comes, the less I'm working at my best. But also, like, I'm trying to tell myself, like, okay, it's almost Christmas, almost the holidays. You will relax. Like, this will be the time where you relax. You should try to push as hard as possible through it and do your best until then so that, you know, you feel proud of yourself and you can actually have a normal break instead of like half-assing everything. God forbid failing an assignment and then having to do it during your break. So I'm trying to think in that way, like, you know, getting a lot of work done, going to my job more often to like do as much as I can and then really rest and recover during the holidays. I feel like another thing that comes with the holidays is like the cold and the dark, and I cannot, if it's really cold, I don't feel like walking to the library to study. I did do that today because I was like, oh my, if I don't go to the library, I'm not going to study, and that was just a non-negotiable. So I did walk to the library, but it was so cold and I just didn't feel like it. And I think the fact that I stay at home for longer makes me less motivated because when I'm at home in my room, I'm just kind of like well, I could be watching a YouTube video or a Netflix show. It's not really the environment in which I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something. Um, your room is kind of the place you sleep, the place you hang out, the place you are comfortable in. And doing homework is not the most comfortable activity. So your brain is kind of like, why are we doing this here? What's the point? I don't want to do this here. And you just lose the entire point of why you're doing homework in your room. And the darkness makes me feel so like shitty. Like not only just sadder, but also tired. You can't do that much good work in the dark. Your brain just shuts down. It's like, well, it's time to go to sleep. Where's dinner? I want to go to sleep. And you're just like, hey, babe, it's 4:30 p.m. and we have 3 hours of work left to do. Calm, calm. But your brain doesn't listen. Your brain doesn't understand the difference between 4:30 p.m. in winter and 4:30 p.m. in summer. And I don't know, like the sun gives me energy and just gives me life. It makes it feel like, wow, look how beautiful it is. And then with the darkness, it's like, wow, I just want to sleep this period off. I want to go into hibernation and wake up when it's actually fun out here. And the less motivated you are, the more everything feels like a chore. I feel like every time I make my cute little to-do lists, my silly little to-do lists every day, I'm just like, so I have to do this and I have to do this. And everything's just monotone. And it feels like just another chore that I have to do instead of actually something that, there's a reason for doing it. It's not just like a random thing assigned to me. Because high school and uni, for me, it's not the same. Like, uni is what I've chosen. And high school was placed upon me, like all the subjects were like math and physics. I didn't choose that shit. That was given to me, and then that feels like a chore. And then in that case I could say like, well, I don't want to do it because I didn't choose it. But with this, it's like, babe, you spent months figuring out what you wanted to do, and now it feels just as mundane as physics class when you're 15. Like, something's wrong here. I find it kind of funny though, because I consider myself a perfectionist. I always want everything to be absolutely top notch, whether this is IB Stockholm Syndrome once again, or whether this is just a quality that I have. I think it's both, to be honest. I was about to say the latter, but like I truly think the IB did something to my brain chemistry. It's kind of ironic how even though I feel like I need everything to be perfect and well organized and just in general top quality, I start overthinking and procrastinating because I'm scared of failure. So then I end up not making it perfect because I end up, rushing through it. And then I'm just like, oh no, it's not perfect. And the cycle continues. And it makes me think like, it made me think like, okay, I feel like shit, and most of the time, like, there's just, when I lose motivation, there's those like reoccurring feelings every time. Like, I feel kind of worthless because I'm just like, well, I kind of base my point as a human being on how much work I get done instead of just like, hey, I'm a human being, I deserve to live. I kind of feel like, well, my happiness is dependent on the amount of work I've done or the quality of the work I've done, which I think is why I lose motivation so easily sometimes, or at least like in critical moments, is because like I place so much importance on this, and I make it such like a personality trait almost for myself, that I feel totally worthless when I'm not super productive and going insane and getting one thing after another done. And it's like, well, no, because I can't do all of this unless I want to like, burn out, and then I'm not going to do anything either. So in any case, I'm kind of fucked. And instead, I should be focusing on, I'm doing this work because, life is life, but there is an importance in doing this work outside of defining me as a human being. This is work that I've chosen for myself. This is a course I've chosen for myself. And I have to kind of think of the ways or of the reasons why I chose this course in the first place. And sometimes I feel like I can't even do the most basic tasks. I don't know. I feel like when I don't do the work that I'm expecting myself to do, the list of 20 things compiled, I feel like, oh, I can't even do things that other people can do. And it's like, this is like a normal feeling that people have. Um, and I guess a lot of the fear from this comes from the fact that I think it's going to be like this cycle of like, if today I'm unproductive, then tomorrow I'm going to be unproductive. And I want to fix it immediately, like looking for a quick fix, which is something I do in literally most of my areas in life. But you look for this quick fix because you're scared that it's going to just keep going and keep going and keep going. And I'm almost in like a competition with myself, like, okay, if yesterday I did this much work, then tomorrow I can do this much work. And it's like, let's see though, because I'm human, and one day I might not feel like doing that much work, and the other day I might be super productive, and it is what it is. I think most of it is about time management and kind of foreseeing that you won't have time to do everything at once. So you have to manage your time in a way that you kind of cut it up into little sections, like you cut up your work into little sections so that it feels easier to do. And even though it might take longer, like for example, instead of doing this project in 2 days, then you do it in a week. Like, yeah, it takes a while and you feel like you've been working on it for super long, but the fact is you've managed your time, you've given yourself time for days where you don't really feel like doing anything, and you've kind of divided it into smaller tasks so that it's easier to do. And I think that fixes a lot of problems, instead of just like seeing it as this big huge thing and then ending up procrastinating and losing motivation because you're like, well, it's not going to be good anyways because I don't understand it, it's too big of a project. You just have to like cut it up into smaller pieces, more digestible pieces, and then you'll see it as like, oh, I can do this, like I'm confident. It like raises your confidence and everything like that. I think as well, I think the biggest part is losing focus on why I'm doing something. And when trying to deal with it, I try to like tell myself, well, it will get worse the more I get stressed, the more I get mad, the more I get frustrated about this. That won't solve anything. Like, you can't solve anything with negative emotions or negative thoughts about yourself. It's not going to work, and it's not a practical solution. You're not doing anything. You're just thinking and you're feeling, but you're not doing. And I try not to get mad at myself. I try to forgive myself. I try to tell myself, like, even the most productive people in the world lose motivation. And I need to be more proud of myself, or at least like give myself a little bit more credit where credit is due. Like, if I was a person outside of myself and I looked at the things that I'm doing every day or every week or every month, I would be proud of myself. If I was, a friend, or I would be like, wow, you're doing pretty good. But for some reason, because we get into a competition with ourselves, because we learn to expect this high standard of ourselves, which is kind of funny, like you're trying to do so much to feel better, and then the only thing that does is higher your standard. So now your starting point is doing 20 things in a day instead of waking up, brushing your teeth. Like, that should be the goal. Should be, hey, I woke up, I brushed my teeth, I did, my skincare routine, and now we're gonna try and do some work. But now it's like, well, that's just a given. We don't credit ourselves for any of that anymore. We credit ourselves for the 20 real things that we're doing. And I feel like I'm trying to kind of make myself feel better by also acknowledging the smaller things that I'm doing, that those are also tasks, and that I am being productive in some way, at least seeing the positives in the day. Like, at least I brushed my teeth today, at least I took a shower, I went to the store, I took a walk, I did an assignment, or I read some stuff. Maybe it's not everything that I have to do for the week in one day, a little bit unrealistic, but it's still something. I still woke up and chose to be alive, and I think that's that should be enough for me. I also am trying to it's good to figure out why you're unmotivated. Is it because there's so much to do and you just kind of are like, oh my God, I'm so stressed, and your brain is like, I don't want to do this? Is it because you were having maybe seasonal depression? Is it because you have another type of mental illness or disability or kind of like hindrance? Or is it because like you're dealing with something outside of work, something completely different, relationship problems, family problems, health problems? There's so many reasons that we tend to feel unmotivated. Confidence issues, you're not confident in yourself. You're second guessing the course you're taking, you're second guessing everything. You're stressed because you moved, or you're stressed because of a new environment. Like, there's so many reasons why somebody might be unmotivated. And I think the first step is to recognize, let's see, why am I feeling this way? Why am I unmotivated? For me, it's just mostly stress, and I guess Christmas vacation. For me, it is Christmas vacation. The fact that it's so close, my brain is just like, please, please give me a break. And I'm just like, we're almost there. 2 more weeks. Not even 2 more weeks. I can do it. But my brain is like, it's so close. Let's do it now. Let's stop now. Who cares? And I'm just like, my grades. My grades care. My grades care. If I want to be invited to this stupid honors degree, I gotta get those grades. And you're not helping. I also want to hear Michael Bublé sing It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas, but it's not yet time. I also want to make Christmas cookies. Not yet time. I also want to eat. I want to be in my Christmas sweater and my reindeer headband, but I need to finish this essay outline. So, give me a break. Thank you. And here are things that have helped me to an extent. Let's talk about some positives. Here are things that I've realized that have actually helped me get through unmotivated days, and kind of turn my need for motivation into a kind of like discipline, where it's like, okay, I'm not motivated, but what can I do to get myself in the zone of work or in the zone of trying to get things done? I think having a to-do list really helps me, because my brain tends to be a mess. Even though it's like, I love organization and everything's organized, my room is always clean, everything's clean. I literally clean my room every week, fully. But for some reason, I need a to-do list, I need a shopping list, I need all these lists, because my brain is going 25,000 miles per hour. And if my brain looked like my room, I would not need a to-do list, and I probably wouldn't be sitting down here making this video at 10 p.m. But on the other hand, my brain is just a mess. To-do lists make me feel like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This looks doable. And it's kind of like when you put it on something and you see the amount of tasks, you can think about like, okay, is this realistic? Because sometimes we wake up and we're like, I'm going to do this, 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 and this. And then at the end of your day, you're just like, I've done one thing. Why? With to-do lists, you see it all on paper and you're like, I'm not going to do this. This is unrealistic. And so you try to like figure out, okay, can I do this tomorrow? Can I do this the day after? Can I do this in the evening? Can I do this tomorrow morning? Like, what can I do to make this more doable? Moving locations works a lot. Today I went to the library, even against my comfort and happiness. I went to the library, and guess what? It worked. It worked so good, because everybody in the library is in the same headspace. They all need to do something, and you need to do something. And that is where the magic happens. And I was so good. I did 2/3 of my reading, which was like 40 pages. And then I finished the rest at home. But it was like the fact that I started it, it gave me motivation to finish it. And realizing that I can't do it tomorrow and I need to do it today is also a great motivator. I'm in pain. I think I always start with smaller tasks and then go on to bigger ones. For example, today I started out with brushing my teeth. I started out with having a coffee and cleaning my room. Cleaning my room is an entirely mindless activity. I watched, I listened to rap music while cleaning my room. I watched a fashion review while cleaning my room, and I felt really good. And it was something productive, something to make me feel good that I'm starting my day off well. But it was also completely mindless and not that much effort on my part, to be honest. And it was quite enjoyable. I enjoy cleaning. Um, it also felt like I was, when you're cleaning, you're organizing everything, you're making everything feel refreshed, new, cleansed, and your brain also kind of takes that and adopts it, and you feel from the inside cleansed, refreshed, new, ready to start the day, ready to start the week. Um, and then I started like, okay, sitting down, doing work. Then I took a break to go to the store, which was another like activity I had to do. It was like a chore in a way, but it was in the middle of bigger chores, so it felt more like a break instead of really something I had to do. And I love shopping. I love grocery shopping. Oh Lord, I love grocery shopping, especially when there's new stuff. I go insane. I go like, there's new stuff. I'm taking that. This is why I want a Trader Joe's in the Netherlands. Can we do that? Can we please? Because I'm so jealous of the bitches that have a Trader Joe's near them and they can just go to the Trader Joe's, because I've seen so many pictures of like autumn stuff and Christmas special stuff, and I'm just like, you guys are eating so cool. Like, I've never had that cool of a snack before in my life. And a lot of them are like healthy snacks, which is like whatever. I will get the unhealthy shit either too. But I'm just so jealous. I need a Trader Joe's. We're going off topic. Something that helped me actually this evening. I had to finish my 17 pages of reading. And I was doing that before I started filming, so that's why I was laughing maniacally at this beginning. But I like to play when I'm really struggling to concentrate. I like to play background noise or like a video that can satisfy my need for entertainment, because sometimes I get really bored. It's reading and making notes. Like, you can get bored, especially if it's something like media history, which sounds really fun. And a lot of the times it really is. Like, I'm like, wow, that's really cool. But sometimes it is horribly boring. It's so boring sometimes. So maybe I'm a weirdo for this, and a lot of people tend to judge people for this, but I really like ASMR. I will listen to ASMR any time of the day. If only it didn't make me literally fall asleep, I would listen to it the whole day if I could, as background noise, because it just satisfies, like, it doesn't distract me when I'm doing work, but it also still like entertains, especially if I like the person and they're like rambling about something stupid. Like, it's fun. But I can also tune out of it. Like, I don't need to know. It's not like watching a show where you're like, I need to know what happens with the storyline. It's more like, I can watch it later too. It doesn't matter. But ASMR is really fun. So I listened to a little bit of ASMR, somebody rambling and like making weird noises on things with their nails, and I was like, this is great because it actually helped me do my work. Or sometimes Christmas music. For some reason, Christmas music is what helps me do work. No other music can motivate me just like, quite like Christmas music. Going to the gym actually helps. It's not only a productive activity, but it's also like you get a lot of energy from the gym, or at least I do. Like, after a workout, I'm just ready to go. Or like ending your day with a workout, and then the next day you're like, oh, like, I was so good and I was so productive yesterday. I did a whole workout. I don't know what it is about working out, but it makes me feel ready. It makes me feel like I can do anything. So it's a great motivator. And lastly, coffee. I need that beautiful heart palpitation starting beverage when I have a very busy day ahead of me. Like, I feel my heart beating out of my chest, but sometimes I need that in order for me to like actually wake up and be like, oh my god, I'm dying, let's do work. But coffee Sometimes when nothing else works, caffeine is always a great alternative, and it's yummy. Like you put some hazelnut milk in that bitch. Delicious. So I don't recommend coffee for people with heart problems, but I definitely recommend coffee for people with normal problems. Uh, and I don't know. I guess to end off, you just can't control something like that. I feel like there's not really a specific answer anybody can give about losing motivation. It is genuinely so individual, like what helps you get back to the groove. And sometimes there's nothing you can do. Sometimes you just have to ride that wave and hope that tomorrow is better. And that's okay. We all have those days. Even if you need to do the work today, I think mental health comes first at the end of the day. And if you're gonna sacrifice yourself for work, I never think that's worth it. And I don't know, maybe that's a privileged point of view or something, but I believe that we deserve to be on earth and deserve to love ourselves because we're human. We deserve to live and we deserve to have fun and be happy because we're human and because we're here, we're valuable. And not because we've done X amount of work or X amount of hours or X amount of assignments and or like whatever. So it's really scary that we can't control it, but we are just human. We're not machines, and it just comes with the territory, and we have to accept that. I hope you guys are motivated. I hope you guys feel good about your work ethic. I hope you guys feel productive. I hope you guys are productive. And if you aren't, that's okay. Take it. You know what? I'll be the voice that you need to hear. It is okay if you aren't productive. I still love you. You're still valuable. You're still great. We love you. But yeah, I think I will pass out now. Sounds pretty good to me. I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening whenever you're listening to this podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you can relate. I'm like, hello, you will relate. You will relate. And I hope you like my candle. I hope you like my I'm sorry, I should stop making that joke. I hope you like my candle. Because I love my candle. Yes, I will stop this episode now. Thank you so much for watching. Visit my YouTube, Life Goes On, Instagram, Life Goes On the podcast, SoundCloud, Spotify, Life Goes On, both of them. I'm the worst marketer in the world. But just look at the descriptions and stuff. I'm sure you're gonna find it eventually if you just type Life Goes On somewhere and scroll like 35 minutes, because I'm not a very big channel. But anyways, I love you all. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week if I survive this one. Goodbye.